Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something that I'm sure a lot of you out there are curious about.
Hmm.
The debate around who should be teaching
Yeah,
health and physical education in primary schools.
right.
Specialist teachers or generalist classroom
That's a
teachers?
good one.
Big debate.
Huge debate.
And we've got a really interesting research article that we're going to be exploring today by Dr. Tim Lynch from Monash University.
Oh, interesting choice. Dr. Lynch brings a lot of experience to this.
He does.
15 years in primary schools, both as a teacher and a researcher.
That's right. Yeah,
And I think that's a pretty unique perspective, don't you?
definitely.
It suggests that he really understands what's happening in the classroom as well as, the theoretical side of education.
Absolutely. And you know what? His research has caused quite a bit of a stir in the education world,
Oh, has it?
which I think really speaks to just how much people care about this topic.
Yeah.
So we've got Dr. Lynch's article, we've got some articles arguing for specialists, we've got articles arguing for generalists,
Okay.
and we've got a bunch of responses to Dr. Lynch's research.
Okay, so we've kind of got ringside seats
Stick with the debate.
at the boxing match, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what you've pulled out of it all.
All right, well, before we get too deep into this boxing match, let's set the scene a little bit.
Okay.
First off, you might have noticed that here in Australia, we say health and physical education,
Yeah.
not just PE.
It's not just PE anymore.
It suggests a much broader focus,
Right.
right?
It does, and
Uh.
the Australian curriculum actually states that HPE aims to develop the knowledge, understanding, and skills to make informed decisions
Mm,
about health and well-being.
right. So
And that's much broader than just physical activity.
totally.
It's mental, social, emotional well-being as well.
Exactly. It's about building healthy habits for life,
Yeah,
not just learning how to, kick a footy or something.
exactly.
Which actually brings us to a point that Dr. Lynch makes in his research.
He's a big advocate for developmentally appropriate teaching.
Okay, yeah.
Um, you wouldn't try and teach basic science concepts using a physics textbook, right?
Right.
You've got to tailor the content to how kids learn at different ages.
Absolutely. You've got to meet them where they are developmentally.
Right.
Give them things that they can actually relate to and engage with.
Okay, so let's get into the main event here.
Yeah.
The specialist versus generalist debate.
Let's do it.
We've got people arguing passionately on both sides of the fence.
Fire away.
We've got some people, like Christina Curry, argue that specialist teachers bring a depth of expertise to the subject that ensures high-quality instruction.
Right.
Others, like Natalie McMaster, believe that generalist teachers are better positioned to integrate physical activity and health concepts across all subjects.
So like a math lesson could involve movement,
Yeah,
or even like, I don't know, the science experiment could involve moving your body.
exactly.
I like that.
It could create a more holistic and engaging learning experience.
I like it, yeah.
Now, Dr. Lynch does point out a potential downside to relying solely on specialists.
Okay.
A lot of them come from a secondary education background,
Yeah, that's true.
and they might not have specific training to teach younger children effectively.
Like, there's a big difference between coaching a teenager
Huge.
and engaging a 5-year-old,
Totally, and we can't forget the cost factor.
Oh, the money.
Dr. Lynch points out that it's simply not realistic for every primary school, especially in, rural or remote areas,
Yeah.
to have a dedicated HPE specialist.
Sure, resources are stretched thin as it is.
Absolutely. So how do we navigate this tricky landscape?
That's the question, isn't it?
Well, Dr. Lynch advocates for a hybrid approach.
Okay.
So training generalist teachers with a specialization in developmentally appropriate HPE.
Kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, get the best of both worlds.
I like it.
And what's really cool is that Dr. Lynch didn't just, come up with this idea sitting in his office.
Yeah.
He went out and he surveyed Victorian principals about their preferences.
What did they say?
Overwhelmingly positive.
Really?
Over 88% wanted HPE specialists in their schools.
Wow.
And 82.6% thought that Dr. Lynch's hybrid training program was a fantastic idea.
That's pretty powerful evidence that this is something that people actually want.
Yeah, so let's say we have this hybrid system in place.
Okay.
What makes a really great HPE teacher?
That's a good question.
Well, Dr. Lynch's survey also looked at this.
Okay.
And the principals highlighted some key qualities.
Right. Like what?
I was particularly struck by the emphasis on passion and enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right?
It makes sense.
If a teacher's excited about it,
Yeah,
they're more likely to get the kids excited about it.
totally.
But it goes beyond that, right?
It does.
They also highlighted the importance of being able to cater to different needs.
Yeah.
different learning needs, and making sure that it's an inclusive learning environment.
That's so important.
It is.
Imagine an HPE teacher that could adapt their teaching to meet the needs of all learners, regardless of their physical abilities or cultural background or learning styles.
Exactly. Everyone feels welcome
You're told
and supported and able to participate.
I love it.
Me too.
So think back to your own early experiences in PE.
Okay.
Did those classes spark a lifelong love of movement and physical activity for you?
It's a good question.
Or did they have maybe the opposite effect?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's a powerful question because it really gets to the heart of why quality HPE actually matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Our early experiences with physical activity can shape our attitudes and our habits for years to come.
Totally.
And this actually connects to the goals outlined in the Melbourne Declaration,
Oh, okay.
which is a pretty landmark document
I've heard of that.
that emphasizes giving every Australian child a fair go at a high-quality education.
Yeah.
And it recognizes that a well-rounded education must include opportunities for, physical, social, and emotional development.
Right, not just academics.
It's not just academics, yeah.
It's about the whole person.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the Gonski report highlighted the importance of, equitable funding and resources to make sure that all students have access to a quality education.
Yeah, regardless of where they live or
Exactly.
their background.
So it seems like we're talking about more than just who teaches HPE.
It's bigger than that.
We're talking about the kind of society we want to create, right?
Yeah.
One where every child has the opportunity to develop healthy habits,
Yes.
a positive relationship with their body,
Oh, I like.
and a lifelong love of movement.
That's a great point.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've looked at the specialist versus generalist debate.
Yep.
We've looked at Dr. Lynch's hybrid approach.
Mm-hmm.
We've considered what actually makes a great HPE teacher.
Yeah, that's a good.
And we've even started to connect this whole conversation back to the broader goals of education and social equity.
It's all connected.
But we're just getting started.
I knew it.
There is so much more to unpack in Dr. Lynch's research and in all of the responses that it generated.
Oh, there's always more.
What are you most curious about as we continue this deep dive?
Well, I'm really interested in how we actually put this hybrid model into practice.
Right.
Like, what would that look like in schools? What kind of training and support would teachers need? And what impact would it actually have on students?
These are great questions.
Big question.
And I'm also wondering about the role of parents and the wider community in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
How can we all work together to create that culture of well-being that extends beyond the school walls?
Yeah, it's a whole community thing, isn't it?
It is.
I'm keen to keep going.
Me too.
Let's do it.
Let's explore these questions and more in the next part of our deep dive.
Sounds good. You know something else that stood out to me in Dr. Lynch's research?
Oh, yeah. What was that?
He found that a significant number of schools, like over 40% of those that he surveyed, actually reported that their current HPE specialists didn't have specific qualifications in primary school health and physical education.
Wow, that's a pretty big gap.
Yeah.
So we've potentially got like a two-pronged issue here.
Right.
Not enough specialists.
Yep.
And a lack of specialized training, even among those who are, designated as HPE teachers.
Exactly. And that's what makes this proposal for a specialized training program so interesting.
Right.
For generalist teachers, because it kind of addresses both of those problems.
It does. It's a two birds, one stone situation.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, so let's imagine this hybrid approach in action.
Okay.
What might it look like in a real school setting? Paint us a picture.
Okay, so you walk into a classroom and you see a generalist teacher
Okay.
who's had this extra training
Yeah.
in developmentally appropriate HPE.
Mm-hmm.
And they're leading a lesson, and it's engaging, it's fun. They're weaving movement and health concepts into other subjects.
I like
Maybe they're doing a math activity that involves, jumping or running, or a science experiment that explores the effects of exercise on the body. They feel comfortable and confident in their ability to teach HPE, and the kids are having a good time.
I love it. It's not just, relegated to that once-a-week PE class
Right.
that some kids might even dread.
Yeah, you don't want that.
It's about creating a school culture where physical activity and well-being are valued.
It's part of everything.
It's woven into the fabric of the school.
Totally. And when you have passionate, knowledgeable teachers leading that charge, it can have a ripple effect
Right.
across the whole school community.
Yeah.
Other teachers might start thinking, oh, maybe I could incorporate more movement into my lessons.
Yeah.
Parents might think, oh, maybe we should encourage our kids to be more active outside of school.
Right.
And the students themselves might actually start to look forward to being physically active.
It's like you're planting those seeds for a lifetime of healthy habits.
Exactly. And what I like about Dr. Lynch's approach is that it's not this massive top-down change.
Right.
It's building on what's already there in schools.
Makes sense.
And giving teachers the tools and the knowledge to really make HPE a priority.
This really resonated with me.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
Dr. Lynch argues that, effective HPE, it's not just about teaching skills and knowledge.
Okay.
It's about fostering a love of movement,
I doubt.
a sense of well-being, and a belief in yourself.
Yeah, feeling good in your own body.
Yes, feeling capable in your own body.
Yeah, I like that.
I can already imagine kids skipping into HPE class.
Instead of dragging your feet.
Yeah, no more dreading those fitness tests or feeling self-conscious during team sports.
That's the dream, right?
That's the dream.
Create a space where everyone feels like they can participate and have fun and, explore their physical potential.
Absolutely. And, to support that vision, Dr. Lynch identified some key attributes of a top-notch HPE teacher.
Like what? What do you need to have?
Well, we've talked about passion and enthusiasm.
But he also highlighted the importance of things like planning.
Right.
Assessment.
Makes sense.
Flexibility.
It's not just about rocking up and being enthusiastic, is it?
No. You need to have a plan.
You need to know what you're doing.
You need to know what you're doing, and you need to be able to adapt.
Right, and you need to be able to assess whether kids are actually learning.
Yeah, totally. And, we can't forget the importance of building those relationships with students.
Yeah, that's key.
And creating that really safe and supportive learning environment.
Absolutely.
HPE can be a sensitive subject for a lot of kids.
Of course.
Especially those who might be, struggling with body image or self-confidence.
It's a really personal thing, isn't it?
It is.
Your relationship with your body and how you feel about being physically active.
So it's really important for HPE teachers to cultivate that atmosphere of respect and inclusivity where everyone feels comfortable.
Everyone feels like they can have a go. Exactly. And it's all connected back to that holistic approach that's embedded in the Australian HPE curriculum.
Yeah.
It's not just about teaching kids how to throw a ball or run a race.
It's bigger than that.
It's about empowering them to make healthy choices for themselves.
Yes.
To build resilience and to develop a lifelong love of movement.
It's about the whole package.
It's about the whole child, their physical, social, emotional, intellectual well-being.
And recognizing that those things are all linked.
Yeah.
You can't separate physical health from mental health, from social health.
Totally. It all works together.
It's all connected.
And a positive experience in HPE can have, a ripple effect.
Definitely.
Throughout a child's entire life.
I think back to my PE classes, and some of them were great, some of them not so much.
Right.
And I can see how those experiences shaped, how I feel about exercise now as an adult.
It's powerful stuff, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize how important it is to get it right for kids.
Right. So let's bring this back to our listener. What are some tangible things that people can do to implement these ideas?
To make this happen.
Well,
I think the first step is awareness,
Okay.
Start talking about it.
Yeah.
Talk to your friends, talk to your family, talk to your kids, talk to your local school board members.
Start those conversations.
Yeah, and find out what's happening in your local schools.
Do they have dedicated HPE specialists?
Right. Are the teachers getting the training they need?
Could this hybrid model work in your community?
Exactly. These are all good questions to ask.
Yeah, and don't underestimate the power of advocacy.
Right.
If you've identified that there is a need in your community, start advocating for change.
Make some noise.
Make some noise. Support policies that prioritize HPE.
Yeah.
Volunteer your time to help out with programs.
Absolutely.
And encourage your schools to adopt these innovative approaches.
Like the hybrid model.
Like Dr. Lynch's hybrid model.
It's about taking action.
It is.
And working together.
It's a team effort.
To create a future where every child has the opportunity to be healthy and active.
I love that. And remember this deep dive.
It's just the tip of the iceberg.
It's just the beginning.
There's a lot more to learn.
So much more. And I'm curious to hear what stood out to you as we delve into this topic. What surprised you? What resonated with you?
Good questions.
What questions are still lingering in your mind?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Well, we're going to delve into those questions and more as we continue our deep dive into the fascinating world of health and physical education.
Can't wait.
As we've been talking, I've been thinking about the long-term impact of this. It's not just about, immediate benefits like improved fitness or coordination.
It's about the bigger picture.
It is.
Setting kids up for life.
Yeah, and there's a lot of research coming out now that shows a strong link between physical activity and academic performance, mental health, social emotional development.
It's all connected.
It really is.
Like, we're finally starting to understand how important movement is for the whole child.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
And yet HPE still often gets kind of pushed to the sidelines.
Yeah, it's often the first to go.
When budgets are tight.
When they need to make cuts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we'll just get rid of PE.
It's an easy target.
Which is a shame.
And Dr. Lynch actually emphasizes the need for ongoing support.
Yeah.
For HPE, not just from teachers, but from the whole school community.
Absolutely.
It can't just be one passionate teacher.
It's got to be everybody.
It's got to be everyone working together.
Parents, administrators, the community.
Yeah, because otherwise we're sending mixed messages to kids. We're telling them to be healthy and active, but then we don't give them the time or the resources or the opportunities to actually do it.
Actions speak louder than words.
They do.
You've got to walk the walk.
We do, and it starts with recognizing that HPE is not just a subject.
Right.
It's an essential part of a well-rounded education.
It's an investment in the future.
It is, and thinking back to those key attributes of a great HPE teacher.
Yeah.
It's not just about teaching skills and knowledge.
No.
It's about fostering that love of movement, a sense of well-being, a belief in their own abilities.
Exactly.
And when we instill those values in young people,
yeah,
we empower them to lead healthier, happier lives.
We give them the tools to thrive.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listener with a call to action.
All right, I like it.
Keep this conversation going.
Yeah.
Talk to your kids, your teachers, your school board members.
Spread the word.
Share what you've learned. Ask questions.
Be an advocate.
Advocate for the importance of HPE.
Because at the end of the day, investing in our children's well-being is investing in our collective future.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This deep dive's just the beginning.
It is.
There's so much more to learn and explore.
Keep that curiosity going.
Stay curious. Keep moving.
And we'll see you next time.
See you later.